on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, there was a bit of fracas within the premises of the National Assembly yesterday. A suspended senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, attempted to access the complex in defiance of a subsisting suspension from the Senate. Amid a heavy security presence as supporters of the senator almost clashed with the personnel. Senior reporter Tijesu Adeoye reports.
Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, in defiance of her suspension, walked into the premises of the National Assembly. She walked alongside some activists, including Aisha Yesufu, after her vehicle was denied entry. The suspended lawmaker marched through the Mopo gate in defiance of what she describes as political persecution.
I said now our senator be this, so we no get another one.
A heavy security lockdown had earlier been mounted around the National Assembly complex, with several personnel from the police, DSS and civil defense positioned at various entrances. Despite her persistence, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan was stopped at the inner gates, sparking a brief confrontation between her supporters and security operatives. While addressing journalists, the senator described the 10th National Assembly under President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, as the worst in Nigeria's history, accusing the chamber of operating in contempt of court. She insists that her suspension was fraudulent, alleging that the committee report used to remove her lacked proper signatures and due process, and also claims her removal was triggered by her petition on sexual harassment within the Senate.
Anything that contravenes the Nigerian Constitution is illegal, and the National Assembly cannot be greater than the Constitution. They are now coming down again based on the appeal. Akpabio himself cannot be greater than the courts, cannot be greater than the Constitution.
While confirming plans to head to the appellate court, she maintained that her right to represent Kogi Central remains valid and vowed never to apologize for speaking out. She accused the president of the Senate of personal vendetta, saying the suspension appeal was filed by Senator Akpabio himself, not the Senate.
This pretty much is the worst assembly Nigeria has ever had, and I hope we will not have to suffer this anymore, because it tells a lot on the individual. And I've said this before and I'm saying it again. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, runs the Nigerian Senate as if it's the third-term governor of Akwa Ibom.
Despite being barred, the suspended Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan reaffirmed her commitment to her constituents and vowed to continue leading with integrity, even if she has to do so from outside the chamber. Meanwhile, plenary continued uninterrupted. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Still at the Red Chamber, the Senate yesterday approved President Bola Tinubu's 2025-2026 external borrowing plan, amounting to over $21.5 billion, 2.19 billion pounds and 15 billion yen, along with 65 million euros grant. The approval follows consideration of a detailed report from its Committee on Local and Foreign Debts. The funds are expected to finance various critical infrastructure and social development programs across the country, with concessional loans drawn from multilateral institutions, including the World Bank, China Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and others. The committee also addressed a discrepancy in the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, noting an upward adjustment of $47 million, as well as the inadvertent omission of the $300 million Universal Communications Access Project, which aims to deploy telecom infrastructure in undeserved communities. The Senate also approved the issuance of federal government bonds totaling 757.9 billion naira to settle outstanding pension liabilities under the contributory pension scheme dating back to December 2023. Now let's move to sports. Arsenal are on the verge of signing Sporting striker Victor Gyokeres after negotiations over the final details of the transfer took longer than expected. The move for the Sweden forward has been held up because of negotiations between the clubs over add-on payments. Now, Gyokeres has already agreed terms and a 5-year contract with the Gunners. The 27-year-old has been in demand during the summer transfer window after scoring 54 goals in 52 games for Sporting last season. He made his international debut for Sweden in 2019 against Finland and has played 26 games for his country, scoring 15 goals. Now, Brentford forward WUN has left the team's preseason base in Portugal amid growing uncertainty over his future. Wissa will now hold talks with Brentford Director of Football Phil Giles, with a trio of Premier League clubs keen on him. Newcastle, Tottenham and Nottingham Forest among those with a firm interest in the DR Congo international and can offer him European football next season. Wissa joined Brentford from French club Lorient in August 2021 and has scored 49 goals in 149 games in all competitions for the Bees. Moving on, Christian Mosquera is flying to Singapore to join with Arsenal on their pre-season tour as the Gunners move closer to completing a deal for the Valencia defender. The 21-year-old has been given permission by the Spanish club to join up with Arsenal, having already agreed personal terms. He can play at both centre-back and right-back and will fill the gap in the squad left by the departure of Takeru Tomiyasu, who mutually agreed to terminate his contract. Mosquera has made 90 appearances for Valencia and was a regular last season, playing the full match in 37 of the club's 38 La Liga games. And that's all we can take for now on the news and sports. Let's take a short recess. The show continues. It's to Wake Up Nigeria.